next is our final speaker before we start to make some real loud noise is Tara from the War Resisters League. War Resisters League has been an organization supporting resistance against Urban Shield across the country, from Boston all the way here to Oakland. And Lara is going to speak on their work and the impacts of Urban Shield. Lara, come on up. Tara.
Hey y'all! My name is Tara and I'm from the War Resisters League in New York City. So we're all here today to stop Urban Shield Oakland, but actually Urban Shield is happening in Boston, Dallas, Austin, and Fort Worth. It's a phenomenon that's taking over this whole country. Urban Shield also reaches around the world. It trains police departments from Brazil, Singapore, and South Korea who are in here today. A transfer of policing strategies is happening in the Marriott Convention Center right now. It's what allowed Israeli police to train St. Louis's former police department chief, Joseph Mukwa, in tactics of occupation and brutality that were used to oppress people in Ferguson. Inside those walls, a movement of money is happening too, between the weapons industry and global police departments. If you walk into those doors, you're gonna see MRAP tanks, micro drones, tear gas canisters, military assault rifles. Those are wartime weapons that are being sold to police department reps in the US, such as Pittsburgh, Newark, and Minneapolis, and then those international police teams that are in there today. But if we took all these tactics and weapons away from the police, we would still be left with a mentality of policing and militarization, a mentality that has historically dehumanized and policed communities of Black, brown, Muslim, Arab, poor, immigrant, gender non-conforming, and trans people all around this world. A mentality that makes t-shirts for sale inside that building that say, keep calm and return fire. Or a DNA machine that's made by Homeland Security that within 90 minutes checks if you have blood relatives in this country when you apply for a visa. Militarization and policing are always sold to the US audience in the name of humanitarian intervention, right to protect, public safety, emergency responsiveness, rapid response, right? We know that with all that Department of Homeland Security funding, that none of that security is for, none of that safety is for those of us who are here today. What they call protection is actually wartime profiteering. Urban Shield is one piece of a large movement of police militarization. A movement that brings together the war on drugs, the war on terror, the war on immigration, all down on communities in this country. We know that the police programs such as 1033 and 1122 that transfer weapons from the Pentagon to police departments, or fusion centers that survey our communities, or urban area security initiative that funds 39 urban areas to have programs like Urban Shield is happening, right? And these are all part of the US militarization movement that's grown around this world for decades. So at War Resisters League, we're working to end police militarization programs. We're looking to end the ways that communities across the globe are put under siege by state repression. So the Alameda County Sheriff's Office and the Pentagon, the weapons industries and the police departments, they're all coordinating, but so are we. We represent a lot of communities here today from around the globe, and we are powerful too. They're trying to build a movement of police militarization, but we have a people power movement. We can end police militarization. If you want to chat with me, no justice, no peace, no militarized police. No justice, no peace, no militarized police.
All right, so just to make sure that we are all on the same page, I'm going to go over really quickly what the demands are for the Stop Urban Shield in Oakland Coalition. So number one is to decrease the violence in our communities by ending the militarization of police. So we demand that the City Council defund all activities related to Urban Shield, and that all city agencies withdraw their participation in Urban Shield. So that includes OPD, that includes the fire department, that includes emergency medical services, because there are other trainings that we could do to keep our communities safe. Our communities refuse to be testing grounds for tactics of global repression. So we demand that the city end all collaborations with the apartheid state of Israel. We call on the city of Oakland to reject all US wars and occupations here and abroad. And we call on the city of Oakland to issue a report on all collaborations between the Oakland Police Department and international law enforcement agencies. We're also demanding community self-determination because Bay Area residents need to have decision-making power in the process to determine the priorities for public safety and emergency preparedness. We demand that the City of Oakland invest in community-based programs to prevent and decrease violence and harm in our communities instead of increasing militarization. And we call on our communities from today until the next day and the next month and the next year to continue fighting back and resisting state violence and repression. So we're asking all of our allies here in the streets, all of our allies that can't be here today, to adopt these principles and take a stand against the policing and repression of our communities. Make some noise if you agree with these demands.